if you think about carbon sequestration into the soil, the analogy I use is a retirement account. Think about if you want a big amount of money when you retire, what do? You continually deposit money into your account. You don't take money out of that account. You diversify your portfolio over time, and you really begin to think about how how you structure that. Well, the same thing happens in soil. If we want to improve our organic matter, is that we have to come up with cropping systems that uh, basically allow us to capture as much carbon as we can. That and we'll just come back and we'll start thinking about this. We'll just do a corn and a cover crop system in there. Is that corn is really excellent in terms of taking up carbon during the year. I mean, it really is a fantastic crop in terms of sequestering carbon. I mean, we're talking about 250, 300 bushels of grain alone by itself, tons of biomass that's out there. But that crop only exists from basically, oh, early June through September in terms of photosynthesizing. Well, May, June, July, August, September, that's 5 months out of 12. So the other 7 is that we're really not capturing any sunlight and putting that sugar back into the soil. So the cover crop basically extends our period of time in which we are capturing carbon and we're depositing in that soil system. And so if we take a look at available sunlight energy, in that period from last frost until that corn starts growing until the corn is mature until the first frost, is that, we have another 25% of solar radiation that we're not capturing if we don't have a cover crop out there. You think about it. So we've got lost opportunity from that standpoint to be able to do this. The other thing that does, so now we've put sugar back into that soil, and then we get into the complexities of crop residue on the surface, protecting that crop surface. Well, now you got multiple benefits, is that cover crop residue, and whether it's a cover crop or whether it's a corn plant, one of its major impacts that it has is the change in terms of rainfall. That crop basically intercepts raindrop energy. It doesn't allow it to hit the soil directly, maintains the infiltration rate, and and then it also suppresses evaporation. So we make very efficient use of small rainfall amounts. That effect of cover crops is immediate. Put a cover crop out there, you see that effect immediately. And so you can see erosion protection, you can see this infiltration increase in the first growing season. It's not something that has to change over time. Then you begin to think about this other crop residue, is that not only does it protect that soil against the raindrop energy, but it also reduces the evaporation rate. So, and in reducing the evaporation rate, it maintains a better water content near the surface. It also is cooler during the surface, because what we often see is that with these small, early in the season when we don't have crops completely covering the soil, is that we'll see soil temperatures that exceed, there'll be 110 to 125 degrees Fahrenheit at the surface. And there'll be over 100 degrees at 1 inch below the surface. And it only takes 104 degrees to denature protein. So what we've done in that upper surface is basically we've cooked the life out of it because we've made it hot, we've made it dry. This spring here, since we're even been hotter than normal and with low amounts of ground cover right now, is that we have some extremely hot soil surface temperatures. And those degrade our proteins, they reduce the biological. We see a degradation of those soil aggregates because they don't have any binding energy anymore. And so if we get a really heavy rain with this light, small amount of crop out there, we'll see a lot of runoff in that because we just have low infiltration rates. So you got all these things that that it gets stacked up. And so we got thinking about stacking benefits all the way through the process. So you think about what that carbon is doing, but more importantly, the processes that it takes to get carbon into the soil. And it has to have an active plant in doing that, but that active plant is more than just capturing and putting carbon; it's protecting that surface as well.